I think Steve Luck's somebody that can play, but I don't think he's somebody that's going to go. He's not Doobie, It's just not. Here we go.
Vicky has her
she
manifesto.
Not only has her cell phone.
She has her cell phone. She has a legal pad, and she has like 2 pamphlets. Vicky, it's only an hour show.
Counselor,
fire away.
Okay. I'm pleased to be here.
We're pleased to have you here, Vicky.
Man.
Clyde is rubbing his head. I don't know what that means.
That's a prop. I have a couple questions from Philip. We'll start with Philip. Okay. Josh and Luke.
Philip's getting the Russo slacks reaction now.
Are you
Only
ready?
with Russo slacks, it's kind of a bit.
Well, just wait.
All right.
Okay, Josh and Luke from Evolving Wild and EvolvingHockey.com have commented that if they were GM, they would trade just about any player and or asset to acquire Mark Stone. Same question to you, Mike.
What?
Who would you trade just about any player or asset to acquire?
Connor McDavid, Patrick Laine, Austin Matthews. I mean, are they kidding me?
Let's try people that
you
are
would
available.
Mark Stone is a UFA at the end of the year that's going to want Nylander, JVR type money. If you're not sure if you're going to be able to re-sign him, you would give up any asset on the Wild to go get a rental? That makes no sense.
Well, it's your choice.
So I love Mark Stone. I think that Mark Stone should be somebody that they go after as a rental, but I don't think you give up any asset to get him. I mean, giving up any assets like, all right, we'll trade Zucker for him. Zucker, who's locked in for 5 years. Actually, this kind of sounds like a stupid fantasy trade I just made. I made the world's worst fantasy hockey trade a couple of weeks ago, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Man, where was I?
Did the Russo the fantasy?
No, I wish I had. I wish I had my other voice telling me. All right, now I'm really fired up.
Well, Mark Stone aside.
I think that Mark Stone is. It's funny. I was telling an agent today. I don't want to tell which agent, but I almost just gave it away. I was telling an agent today that the second that Chuck Fletcher gets the job in Philadelphia, if I'm Paul Fenton, I'd call up Philly and call up Chuck and say, all right, what do you want for Wayne Simmons, But I will say this, if you think about it, I know for a fact that Chuck tried to acquire Wayne Simmons a bunch of times here, so you're probably not getting a Wayne Simmons from Chuck. So it was a good thought. But otherwise, they need a right not to, again, because I love the guy, but not to, again, depress everybody here, but what is Bruce Boudreau going to do with Niederreiter? He doesn't fit anywhere on this team right now. They need a right shot, right wing, and Nino probably needs to be gone. I don't know if you could trade him at 5.25, but regardless, they need – so now let's just say we all know that they need and are and will pursue a right shot, right wing. So that's Mark Stone or Wayne Simmons or whatever. If they get that, now where does Nino play? If they, it's just going to be interesting what happens here. He's kind of lost on this roster right now.
Well,
and then he gets a chance to play with, again, he's elevated from the fourth line last night. He gets the chance to get back with Parisi and Koivu, and he was not good.
I'm going to break up Vicky's hour-long monologue by thanking WhizKids.tech, WHIZKIDS.tech. Check out their billboard downtown Minneapolis on Washington Avenue. Managed IT, unified communications, cloud services. Let them be your chief technology ally.
Hello, Minnesota sports fans. This is Michael Thanner, founder and CEO of WhizKids. WhizKids is a Minneapolis-based managed IT, hosted VoIP, and cloud services provider. Businesses today require fast response times, skilled support staff, clear communication, and technology recommendations that align with their business goals. At WhizKids, we do this each and every day with our clients. When you call into our help desk for support or work with one of our higher-level engineers on a complex issue, you'll find our staff personable and ready to roll up their sleeves to help you solve your technology problems. Reach out to WhizKids today to find out how we can help your business meet your technology goals. Visit us online at whizkids.tech. That's whizkids.tech. WhizKids, make it happen.
Next.
All right, Vicky, sorry.
Remember,
no,
Ben's
okay.
behind you also has, you can't take the mic forever here.
Well, I'm trying to
It's a filibuster.
I'm not the one doing all the talking. I just like to make that clear. Mark Stone aside,
I love Mark Stone, though. I don't disagree with their premise, but I don't think you give up unless you know he's re-signing here.
Well, based on who you know out there that's available right now, that we could trade anything for, who would you want us to go for?
I mean,
that's available.
I mean, it's hard to say because I got to think that this team is not close to a trade, and I've got to think that if that means you're getting closer to the deadline, which usually means rentals. And the rentals, I just said the two that are on top of my list, which are Simmons and Stone. They're not going after, and they're not getting William Nylander. In fact, I'd be shocked if Nylander's traded by 4 p.m. on the day that this podcast comes out. At this point, I could tell you that I talked to some Carolina sources the other day that say that they're out of it, at least as of now, at least that they think. Now, there could come a point here where Dubas just calls everybody, what will you give me? Just because he wants to get something for it. But I'm not. I think Dubas would sooner have him sit than he's going to resign tomorrow. That's what's going to happen.
Has Severance Guy opined the play of late? He has an impressive knack in the past for calling a turn of the tide of play before others recognized it.
I don't know. I miss him. I wish he would start coming to shows. He was on I saw him on a couple of either Twitter or comments on some stories the other day too. He and his wife, nice people.
Okay, I just have one more, but I have to refer to my notes here.
Yeah, my God. We should take a picture of this.
It's Russo slacks.
By the way, I know what you two are up to. There's no doubt that you sit there and you give him little scoops of what goes on at the podcast or what's going on in my life, and then he tweets me and freaks me out like he's watching. I'm well aware of that.
Is that true, Vicky?
I am a reporter.
You've been accused. What say you?
I like it.
Is that an admission?
He wants to know who
Is that a non-denial denial?
No, he and I are partners in crime these days.
Okay, that's an admission. It's an admission.
And I won't tell you who our target is. So anyway, but he does want to know which Wild player you think is going to be playing for Toronto tomorrow night.
It won't be Dumba. I think Spurgeon's a little concerned it's him. Or maybe hopeful. I don't know. But it's not. They're not trading Spurgeon, and I don't think they're trading Dumba. So.
Too bad.
Yep.
Okay.
There was a false alarm today where I was chasing that the Wild might have been back in it, but as far as I could tell, there's zero chance.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I don't think they. I actually don't think that they really, after digging into this guy, don't want him. I don't think he's the most popular player on the Leafs before, and I certainly don't think he's going to be exactly popular coming back. And he's just, I think this whole lockout, like I was talking to a couple agents today that are just mystified by what he's trying to accomplish here, because it's not like the old days where you could hold out and make this money back. Like, he is not going to make this on it's just insane. Their strategy here from the beginning.
Good job, Vicky. Way to get him fired up. Yes, sir.
I'm not fired up. I'm calm.
Yes.
Mike, I had the spaghetti for you, by the way.
Oh, nice. How was it?
It was very good.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
We've gotten really good reviews on the spaghetti here. By the way, reminder, Jared makes the owner makes his own proprietary red sauce here, which is great on pizzas and spaghetti and everything else.
It's all fantastic. Anyway, I was wondering, watching the games, and I'm not going to pile on Joel Eriksson Ek or want to give up on him yet. Mm-hmm. But I know we were talking about right shot, right wing being in need, and the more I'm watching this team, the more I'm thinking, because I think I'm confident the Wild they're going to rebound, and right. I think we're a good team that will make the playoffs. But if you think, regardless of going to the postseason, if you're sitting there as Paul Fenton, and you're looking at the top 9 center position on this team, it's like, do you really think you're going to get anything out of the third line with Eriksson Ek in the postseason? And it's like one of those situations where if you, I don't know how you feel, but like I kind of feel maybe we should do what we can to maybe get a top 9 centerman in here. Not knowing exactly what's on the market.
Well,
but,
I thought what you were going to say was maybe use him to get a right wing, and what I was going to come back at you at is I think it's very dangerous for a team that has very little depth at center to trade Eriksson Ek.
And I agree.
I would agree if you're going to trade him, you better get a center back.
Yeah.
Because it's concerning. I mean, Koivu's probably done here in 2 years. And Stahl, I think he's going to re-sign at 3 years eventually. I will say there's been zero contract talks, but I think that he'll get a 3-year deal to stay here. Which is probably an extra year more than the Wild want to give him, but that's what's going to probably take for him to take lower base salary than what he could probably or definitely get on the open market. But then you're talking about who's replacing them. So yeah, I do think centers. I think when Paul looks at his team, he sees that eventually he's going to have to get much better up the middle, and eventually maybe Kaapo Kähkönen is that guy, but a goalie of the future as well, because Dubnyk's not getting any younger, and Stalock's not the goalie of the future. So those are the big things. So, but I would agree. Look, Eriksson Ek, somebody said on Twitter the other day, James Shepard, that James Shepard was better. I think you're forgetting who the hell James Shepard was. I mean, James Shepard showed me nothing ever.
Yeah.
This guy, you could see flashes of being a good player, but the problem is that he kind of is what he is. He's a very good forechecker that so far hasn't accomplished anything. He's not accomplishing anything offensively. He's good defensively, but I'm sorry, man. Like yesterday, I'll handle the 21-year-old that can't score in the NHL yet because I've seen it before. I watched Olli Jokinen develop into somebody that couldn't score into suddenly being a 30-goal scorer, all-star, and things like that. It takes time, and I don't think Eriksson Ek is going to be this feeble offensively for the rest of his career. But if you're going to be this feeble offensively now, you better get that freaking puck deep last night rather than turning it over late in a shift and having all those guys come back at you and score the back-breaking goal and eventual winning goal. Like, it's unacceptable. And that's the type of thing that if I'm Bruce, I will say, sorry, now you are sitting tomorrow night. I wouldn't play Matt Hendricks over him. I'd call somebody up. But, that's unacceptable. He needs to be taught a lesson about that last night. And more so than don't do it again. Like, it's unacceptable. So... But the problem is that line is actually spending a lot of time in the offensive zone and playing well. They just don't score. Part of it's because Eriksson Ek doesn't aim correctly, for lack of a better description.
That was like in-depth hockey terminology right there.
Well, I joked on Twitter the other night, great play by Coyle. Unfortunately, they don't put the puck in the corner anymore for Eriksson Ek to shoot at. So,
well, and that's why I agree. I'm not talking about trading him yet.
Yeah.
I don't want to give up on him. I just...
your point is, you're right. I mean, they probably could use a center going to the playoffs.
For sure.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
One last comment I'll make.
But it's a lot of time until then. Like, we could see, a raise in Eriksson Ek's game here, a rise in Eriksson Ek's game here for the next little bit.
For sure. And one last comment I was just going to make, too, is I used to know, if you can make a significant trade, because I think the defense, last few games notwithstanding, I think that the talent in the top six we have is the strength of our team.
Yeah.
So it's hard to see how, I appreciate the job Fenton has in his position. I think it's really tough because I wouldn't want to trade any of those six.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and they haven't been very good lately. But the one thing I'll tell you about this team, and this is why again Dubnyk needs to be better. I mean, it's like 7 or 8 games in a row, I think, that they've given up fewer than 30 shots, and yet they've lost 5 of those games. So Doobie needs to be better. Their blue line does need to get back to improve. I would put immediately Spurgeon and Brodin back together. But Suter also needs to start playing better. He's concerning right now. I did not like his game last night, and I haven't liked it for the last 2 or 3.
So if you're going to order Delano's Pizza, go straight through Delano's Pizza. Go to delanospizza.com or call the direct number, either the downtown Minneapolis location or the Woodbury location. If you're ordering other food this weekend, we do have a Bite Squad deal that's special for you just this weekend. It's through the Cheryl Reeves Show on my network and celebrating the Gopher Volleyball NCAA playoff berth. Use Gophers VB. VB is in volleyball. Gophers VB anytime between now and Sunday night. You'll get 10% off your Bite Squad order. And also we want to thank our friend John Hedges here with Fixology Repair, fixologyrepair.com. Locations 3rd floor of the Mall of America. and in downtown, not far from us in the Skyway, just south of the Wells Fargo Center. John's partnered with Seiko. He has doubled his Seiko inventory. He has a full assortment of Pulsar watches, and he now has Kenneth Cole and Guess watches that are marked down for the holidays. Check out either location. The one in the Mall of America's bigger, even more options, but they have a lot of. They have the ability to fix your stuff wherever you go, which other location you go to. I stumbled over that.